Hello and welcome back, and today I'm doing a tidy up, maybe declutter a little, but generally sort of sort out and organise Christmas decorations. If you're new, I'm Deirdre, and yes, this should have been done when I took them all down and put them away at the end of the year. I like to get things out of the way before the new year. It's just that fresh new year thing. I don't want Christmas lagging over, as much as I love it. But this year didn't happen. I just sort of went put things away. Do you ever do that? You know, you just sort of push things in. Bit of a Monica closet moment. Today I have got about an hour before I need to leave, so I thought, right, I'm going to get this done. I think this is quite a good place to make that line between when people talk about decluttering and minimalism and all of that sort of thing, but what I'm talking about isn't that. It includes some of that if that's what you want, but what it is for me is the process of downsizing. And downsizing is neither minimalism or decluttering. It involves decluttering, absolutely, but it also involves getting rid of things that you love. You know, you can't do the Marie Kondo does it spark joy when you choose to move to a smaller footprint home. And it's a matter of balancing the upside of the smaller home, and believe me, I should do a video on it actually, the upsides. Wow, I love it. But the downside is you do have to get strong about letting go of things that you do still love, and that's the difference. When people choose minimalism, they are choosing it not with any pressure on them, but when you have made the decision to move to a smaller home, that puts pressure on you to reduce your belongings, and that can be very hard for some people. For me, my biggies were my books and my Christmas decorations. So today it's not about minimalizing, it's not even really about downsizing, because, you know, while I said that that's sort of part of it, I do have good storage here, and these things do disappear into a couple of high cupboards. But mainly I just want to get things organized so I know everything's together and where everything is. Now it's on the way to getting really warm today, so I've got my air conditioning on. Really warm is 40 degrees Celsius, so that's really warm. Let's start with the easy things. These are easy. I have 3 of these sort of, artificial berry wreaths. I use them around things and like to decorate the base of lamps and things. I use them every year. I've had them for about 10 years. They're still in very good condition, and I'm definitely keeping them, but they need to be wrapped up. Next step. This is the wreath that goes on my front door. It's actually 2. This is an IKEA sort of felt one that lights up. Oh, by the way, the other thing I'm checking is that, I have actually just checked this one, but I checked that all of the batteries are out so that I don't have batteries corroding and ruining things. But that one's got little lights all around it inside, and it's really pretty on the front door. And then this actually used to go on the outside of my door. Now it goes on the inside because the outside is red and the inside is white, so I have this one on the inside of my door, and I still love it. And yes, it loses a few little bobbles every year, but it's still looking pretty good. I just got some little silver balls I attached in there years ago to make it sort of sparkle a little bit, and definitely keeping that. I wanted to wrap them properly and I hadn't done that. The same with this. This is my little artificial tree. I think it came from the White Company. I just want to check that I've taken out, yes, I've taken out the batteries. Always check, just because it will ruin the whole thing. And this year I'd wrapped it in a little scrapey bit of calico just to make it look a bit, oh, you know, a little bit organic. And I had these little baubles on it. And I thought, you know, look, I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to roll it up into some bubble wrap, and that will look after it, because it was not wrapped when I put it away. I didn't use these this year. I was going to put them outside. They're 3, so inside there are 3 cones of 3 different sizes. They're all stacked inside each other. I'm not taking them apart, but I have another one as well. Now this one isn't white, it's sort of silver based, and they all have lights inside them, which is really nice, and there's sort of little wicker woven around them. This one I will offer to my son and his wife. If not, it will go to donation. These really do need to be rolled in paper or in bubble wrap, but they're quite big, but they look lovely outside, and I have undercover, I have an area where they do look good, and I used them the year before, but this year not so much. And they're going into the wrap pile. Here I have this really sweet little light that came from IKEA years ago, and I've just tested it and it all still works. I didn't have it out this year because I couldn't find it. Because that's, you see, that's why I had to do this. I couldn't find it. So that's going to stay. Once again, it needs to be wrapped up. Now, this is a garland that I picked up on sale ages ago. That's going to go. These boxes I got from a friend. I must remember to ask her for some more. She has others. They are absolutely beautiful. I don't think there'll be anything I'm going to let go from here, but there are things that I need to put back in here. I've been waiting all my life for someone like you. Here's my little Russian doll. You see, I don't even know why I didn't have this out this year. This is sort of a collection of Villa Bosch, but there's a lot of space in here and I can fit other things in very easily. I'm walking on air, and every day, every way, I feel I can't lose. I wanna shout it out, ain't no limit. I wanna shout it out to the world. These are things that my kids had, and really I think they should go back to my kids, don't you? The trolls. Oh goodness, he lost his hat somewhere along the line. 3 guesses to who that one is. That one will be Tom's, and the one without a hat will be Matthew's. See, same thing here. The intact troll and the less than intact troll. So the poor naked fella and the guy who lost his hat. These, I absolutely bet, the boys might argue with me, but I bet you that these are Matthew's and these are Tom's. The architect and the clinical psychologist. Boy, and they tell you that your kids aren't born a certain way. They most certainly are. This I'll keep. That's the tooth fairy box. I don't have anybody who's going to need it just yet, but perhaps it can go on loan from Grandma when a certain little lady approaches losing her first teeth when she's what, 6 or 7 or whenever you do, can't remember. Now this is a bag of things that I used on my tree this year. They're not precious in any way. They were the cheapest of cheap, but they look good to very quickly and easily make the tree look pretty. But I'm not going to throw them away, so they look quite good last year, but I will check to see how many the little cat knocked down. The cat liked them. Chased them around the floor. I think the only ones I put back in here were in pretty good condition anyway, so that's a good start. Here are some more of my mercury, they look like eggs, mercury glass eggs, they can stay, and some, I don't know how to corral all of these. Next box, which is a much smaller one, which has all of the pine cones in it that I used this year. What do I do with pine cones? I find another bag. I've been waiting all my life for someone like you. These are all ones that the boys had when they're young, and one day they can go through them and decide how much they want and what they want of them. In fact, maybe I'll make this into a the boys can sort it out box, and anything that's in here is for them to decide. Oh, there's my angel. Okay, I had lost her, so that's what happens, you see, when you wrap things up and you're not sure what happens to them. I'm back from a quick trip into the city for some things I had to get organised, and I sort of started again without turning on the camera, which was not very smart, was it? This one is pretty much, it is actually full, it's a very thin box, but it suits those ones, so that can go ready to be put up. I think I'm going to be able to reduce it somewhat. Ah, finally, the tiny little snow globes that I had out this year. Right, I've been waiting. The box has been waiting, ready for me to pop them all back in. Whenever lost, whenever down, you know what to do. There's no mountain I won't climb to be right by your side, right by base for this tree to go in. I'll wrap it in bubble wrap though. Try and squish it down a bit. Wrapped up like a baby. That'll keep it tidy at least, and it does make it sort of slightly smaller. And there it is. It's not reduced by a lot, but that wasn't actually the aim. The aim was to get it organised, tidy, and know where everything was, and sort of consolidate it all into one place so that the things that I love are being used, and I know where they are, and I know that they're in good condition, and that I'm storing them so that they are, you know, looked after and ready for hopefully many years to come. Here we are. I have got rid of a few things that are sitting here. These are going. It's not much, but oh, and I did empty another bag as well. You see, I had that bag full. That's an empty box. That's the bag that was full of lots of bits and pieces. Yeah, so it's still my only lot of sort of seasonal decoration, and I think when I started downsizing, I think I had 12 boxes that were that size, I think. And yeah, okay, so I've done okay. That's cut it down a lot. These are fine to just store. They go up on the top of the bookshelf, and because they're in such beautiful boxes, I'm quite happy to have them stored up there, and the rest comfortably fit in a high cupboard. So it's not a lack of storage, it's just that I didn't want to own things that I didn't love and want to keep, and the things that I did want to keep, I wanted to make sure they were in good condition and wrapped up well. Well, all the Christmas things are packed up properly this time, not just sort of smushed into the cupboards the way that they were before. Everything that's meant to be there is, you know, they're all together. I've sort of corralled everything together. I've still got a couple of empty boxes. That was a good thing. I've got something I can get rid of. So I'm happy with that. I like things around me, but I still want it to be uncluttered. I want it to be simple, and I don't want things that I don't use and love. So I'm going to keep on with this, aiming for this, just trying to sort that simple life. And if you'd like to join me, I'd love to have you. I am working on my first newsletter for a very long time, actually, so if you'd like to join me with that, I will leave a link in the description box below, and that will be coming out in the next couple of days. I'd love you to come and have a look at that as well. Whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a lovely time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!